Hey, welcome everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining us to hear information about the construction of the new OCPS elementary school in Horizon West in the town center area. It's set to open in August of this year. A few housekeeping notes about how this meeting will work. Attendees are automatically muted with cameras off. Please use the Q&A tool to ask questions. You can ask your questions at any time during the meeting, but we'll be answering them at the end after the presentation. If you're having technical difficulties and can't get your Q&A figured out, you can drop questions in chat, but I'm mostly going to be using that to put links in. Okay, Jeff, if you could advance the slide.
Well,
Maybe.
maybe. Why is it advancing?
No, it didn't advance.
Okay,
There we go.
there we go.
Yeah. So we have online with us today a wide variety of panelists who are available to answer questions and just listen to what you have to say. I'll be introducing them shortly. If you have any technical issues with WebEx, I'm going to drop in a support phone number into the chat, like if you can't hear or something, and you can look at that. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the OCPS Facilities Communications YouTube page, as well as sent out as a link to anyone who registered. The presentation slides are already posted. They are on Board Member Gould's page at ocps.net under School Board, and they're also on the Facilities page at facilities.ocps.net. Jeff, do you mind advancing it again? Today, we're going to about the completed digital bit again, like we have in some previous meetings, and we're going to talk mostly about where construction is at. We're also going to have an opportunity your new principal. But before we get started, let's turn to your District 4 board member, Pam Gould, first.
Hello, Lauren, you're popping in and out on my volume or on my sound, so I don't know if that's you or me. But welcome everybody. We're always thrilled to be able to share another new school, especially in the Horizon West area. We have been blessed to be able to open several schools in our district since I started my tenure, and this one is going to be another beautiful school, and I don't want to delay the presentation and the community conversation. So with that, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, can you guys let me know if the sound is better? Or am I still going in and out? I'm better? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead with the introductions then. So as I mentioned, board member Pam Gould, this is her community, and this school will be in her district. From the academic side, we have Executive Area Director Wendy Ivory, and I'm going to save your principal till the end of my list. The architect for this project is Schenkel Schultz, and we have Lynn Lefebvre, and Dave Torbert is going to be joining us later. The traffic engineer on this project is Rick Baldacchi. Jay Klima is the civil engineer. Okay. And I see somebody is having trouble with their audio. So if you could try to either I would go out and then come back in, or try that WebEx phone number, but that usually works. And the construction manager for this project is Wellbro. And they're the ones who are out there building. You're going to hear a lot from them today. That's the primary purpose of our meeting today. And Jeff Carter from Wellbro is going to be doing much of the presentation, and as he's waving, excellent. And Sean Cousins from Wellbro is also on the call in case he's needed for questions. From the OCPS facility side, design manager Mo Arthur, I believe, is going to be hopping on. My role is I am the senior manager for facilities communications specifically. From planning, I believe Christopher Mills is going to hop on if he hasn't already. Jess Malambert, the director of construction planning, I want to make sure I said that right, is on the call. Now this next name is a really important one because he brings together all of the different pieces and parts here. Maher Chatilla is your team project manager for this project, and he's the one who goes between OCPS and the architect and the construction manager to make sure that what's being built is what OCPS asked for. I believe Stacy Neal from Student Enrollment is going to be hopping on, from OCPS Police, Commander Jamie Alberti. And let me see if I've missed anybody. Okay, yes, and we've got some outside partners I see on the call. From the we work closely with our local governments anytime we open a new school. I see District 1 Commissioner Nicole Wilson is on, so welcome. Lauren Torres from Orange County Traffic is coming on, and Diana Almodovar, the Deputy Director of Public Works. I know had RSVP'd that she was coming as well. Yep, and I see Lauren. Okay, Adam Zubritsky is on from Transportation as well. Now, it's really exciting that you get to see your new principal here. So Dr. Angela Murphy Osborne, who's like cheering and waving, is super excited to be your new principal. I'm going to turn over the floor to her for a few minutes, and she's actually going to introduce you to the principal next door as well. So thank you, Angie.
Hi, good evening. I am more than excited to be the principal at the new school. I opened Independence Elementary 7 years ago, so I'm very invested in the community. I love the community, and I know it's going to be another great school. We're in the second phase right now of naming the new school. We have a committee member from Water Springs and committee member from Whispering Oaks. And we're at the second phase right now. So we have surveyed, we're up to about 400 surveys right now. And the 3 names that was decided on by the committee, the first survey go around was Hamlin Elementary, Hamlin Hills Elementary, and Lake Ingram Elementary. The lake near the school is Lake Ingram. That's why the committee voted on Lake Ingram. So the possible mascot is honeybees, the huskies, and cranes, sandhill cranes. So we're really excited. We've had a lot of votes. We've had a lot of talk out there in the community about our name and our mascot. It's making for excitement. I'm very excited also. So that survey closes on Friday. So get your vote in there for whatever you want. It's your community school. So we are excited about the opening, no matter what the name and the husky or a honeybee or whatever. I'll be proud to be any of them. So that's where we're at with the phase of naming the school. And then after that, the potential highest ranking name goes to our area superintendent and then is forwarded onto the school board for the final vote. So,
excellent. And I've actually dropped a link to that survey into the chat, so you can go vote right now if you want to.
And then also, if you have a kindergartner, we're going to be at, myself and my registrar will be at Water Springs tomorrow between 3 and 5 o'clock for the new kindergarten registration. So feel free to come out, and we'd love to meet you. And then we will be doing also the same thing at Whispering Oaks for kindergarten registration also. So that's just a little update. And then if anyone has any questions, we feel free to ask at the end. And with that, I'd like to introduce the new middle school principal. She is Dr. Suzanne Knight, and she's coming to us from Dr. Phillips High School. She has a long history of success there. And so we're really honored to have her as my neighbor next door at the middle school.
Excellent. And I don't see her on the call yet. So toward the end, when we start to do the Q&A, if she's able to hop on, maybe we can give her a second to say hello.
Great.
So I have put the link to that survey in the chat, and you can actually find the survey for the middle school in that form as well. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Jeff Carter to show us what's going on the site.
Thank you, Lauren. Like she mentioned, my name is Jeff Carter. I'm with Wellboro Building Corporation, the construction manager behind the school here. We'll kind of go through an aerial view. Currently where we're at, New Independence is just about a quarter mile north of where we're looking here. And this red area here's Avalon. Currently you'll see a couple sand roads that are still in development, but this will be your primary road getting into the school. It'll also come from Silver Grove Boulevard to Citrus Leaf Boulevard here. And this road will go to the bus loop. That's a shared bus loop for both of these schools here, around the backside in between here for that bus loop, stacking 15 buses in this one. Here again is at Silver Grove Street. You'll have 3 entrances, one on the very beginning of the neighboring middle school that Dr. Osborne was mentioning, as well as one here in the middle between the both, and then on the far end, and a major super queue for all the visitors that are going to come see here. You do have crosswalks on every one of these entrances, as well as a traffic signal up here at the main before you come to the schools here. So the kids will be secure, safe, plenty of bike parking for the overall neighborhood that's going to be growing on here. It's a booming place. Personally, I like the Sand Hill Crane name. It just fits what we're seeing out here right now, but eventually a lot of residents out here for this school here. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lynn with the architect team.
All right, so what we're looking at here is a very diagrammatic floor plan of the first floor, and we don't show you the full floor plan for safety and security reasons. So Jeff, if you will point out the front door where your cursor is there, that's the main entrance to the building. And off to the right is a single point of access that only goes into the admin building. During the day, once school has started, all the other doors will be locked. All the doors that will be used during drop-off to get the kids into the school will be locked, and this will be the only point of entrance. This makes for a very secure access point to the school. So the yellow block you see there is administration. Across the lobby in pink is the media center. If you go straight through the lobby to the middle, it's the multi-purpose dining room with the stage. And then on both ends of the building, kind of in that gold color, are the classrooms. On the first floor, you have kindergarten, first grade, some second grade. And then we also have some orange spaces. Those are more of a specialty space, like art and music, resource rooms and support rooms, skills labs. On the left side of the building in gray, you see a covered play area with a PE office. The PE office also has PE storage and 2 restrooms outside, so the kids don't come back into the building. All right, the second floor is pretty much all classrooms. We only have some teacher planning and 2 resource rooms upstairs. Everything else is classroom space. So all your public spaces and communal spaces are on the first floor. Okay, so this is an artist rendering of what the building will look like. And these are the colors that have been chosen by OCPS. The canopy matches the canopy style at the middle school next door. As Jeff mentioned, there's a lot of queuing that will actually queue in front of the middle school because the hours of drop-off are different. And the next slide, Jeff shows an overview of the school, a little bit higher, so you can see some of that parking area, some of the landscaping that will be in front of the building. The admin and media center are the little 1-story parts in front, and then you see the classroom building. The classrooms on the second floor have those 2-story windows in them, the second floor windows. Yep. Okay. So the color palette for the new school will be the same color palette as shown here. These pictures are from, I believe, Water Spring. The admin building, admin reception is on the top. You see a check-in desk, and off to the side on that picture on the left is a door. That was the main point of entry that I was pointing out. That's where everyone will enter the building, and they will be directly in front of the reception desk. And on the bottom, you see the lobby. So on the left side, it's the media center doors. And on the right side, it's the administration door. So once you're into the lobby, into the administration reception, you will be buzzed out via this door. But these colors are the spring green and yellow, very sunny colors for the building. And now on the interior, these are some example spaces. So the classroom as a teaching wall with a touchscreen interactive monitor on the front, if you'd like to point that out, Jeff. They are in more neutral colors in the classroom because, as you see, there's a lot of added color by the students and the teachers. At the bottom there is the art room. There is a kiln attached to the art room. Across the bottom there is the music space. Those walls are covered with acoustical panels to keep what I like to call the joyful noise inside the room. And then the media center at the top has some nice indirect soft lighting and high windows around the top so we can maximize shelving and furniture placement in that space. On the outside of the building, we've got a covered play that I pointed out on the floor plan. It is covered, and what you see back there is a mirror image of what ours will be, but that is the 2 bathrooms and the PE office. Across from that are the outdoor courts. The basketball courts do get a sports topping, and the basketball hoops are adjustable at an elementary school. So they are both 10 feet and adjustable down, 10 feet on one court and 8 feet on the other court. So we've got them for the little kids as well as the older children. Below that is the play lot.
Lynn, we're getting that feedback. Do you mind just muting and unmuting to see if that fixes it?
Yep, doing it. So below it, we've got the play lots. Did that help, Lauren?
No.
Yeah.
Why don't we just have Jeff deliver the next couple slides?
I think this may have been towards the end anyway. Okay.
Oh, that fixed it.
You're
Okay.
good, Lauren.
Okay, so let me just go back up to the outdoor courts then. They have a sports topping, and one court has a 10-foot basketball hoop. The other court's for the littler kids, an 8-foot basketball hoop. The play lots are the one at the bottom right. And on the left, you've got the tot lot, which has a shade structure over it. Next one. Okay, so OCPS is very good stewards of not only the environment, but your taxpayer dollars. So we try to save energy for both reasons. The school has been designed for green globes, and some of the energy savings that you'll see on the right include LED light fixtures, outdoor day lighting from all the classrooms, and LED water-saving toilets and faucets, as well as the site has got low maintenance, low water need plants. Okay. So you can see we've built this a number of times. These are all similar prototypes. Each one evolves, so they're not all identical. Every year there are some upgrades and changes made to technology and other things, but the 4 highlighted in red are the ones that we will be mostly in your neighborhood. Whispering Oak, Independence, Keens Crossing, and our newest school was at Water Spring Elementary School.
Thank you, Lynn. So earlier on, we all met here. Most of us were here discussing the design schedule and how the construction schedule is going to go. Here we are in a nice fancy star here in the month of February, current status. So you'll see the building is up. The walls, the exterior walls are painted. You can see a lot of this activity from the Avalon corridor there. Steel is in, the roofing is in, and we're currently in the process of doing all of our interior mechanical, electrical, plumbing rough ends, as well as the interior framing and topping out as right now. So all in all, we're looking pretty good and ready to deliver this here first part of June. So with that, we'll go into our logistics of how we are. Again, one of the dirt roads coming off of Avalon, you'll see is our temporary access road. The developer is still currently working on the permanent road, looking pretty good right now, coming to a close towards the end here. And we're going to be on this road real soon where this temporary access will go away. But that's where you see all the influx of traffic. It's mainly due because you've got a middle school and the elementary school going on there, but plenty of acreage out here. So we've got some lay down areas, our little residence here between the two, and then in the middle, the elementary school and the middle school out here as well. So early on in June, when we first discussed, the middle school was already underway. We've had this nice parcel here ready for the elementary school. That was June and July. Quickly, we were going into foundations for the building, a lot of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, rough ends, underground, foundations for steel columns for the building. Quickly moving into August, you'll see these out here. These are what we refer to as casting beds. These are for the tilt panels, basically your concrete walls that develop this building. A lot of those will be working on out here while we still move forward and working on the interior slab section. You'll see this is where a lot of the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, rough end is going. So it's a little a little more chaotic on this side as we're getting close to pouring the slab on this side. So there's the difference there. And then quickly jumping into September, quickly things change. We've got these tilt panels being formed on these casting beds, as we talked about, as well as on the interior slab, because by this time, the full slab of the concrete slab of the building, your floor, is poured. We're utilizing that and putting those puzzle pieces in place, because just like that, it's just like a puzzle. Those panels are then, and they're casted, poured, and lifted by these cranes out here that create your exterior and interior walls. You can see here in October, we're already putting in structural steel. Roof panels are going on. So it is like one big puzzle. It's really need to happen, and it happens really fast. That helps us get inside real quick here. November, your roof panels are on, getting ready for the roof work, while inside your interior work is starting to go. That's your wall layout. That's some more mechanical, electrical, plumbing, rough ends inside, and then on the outside, your site work's moving forward. These little pillars out here is part of those structural components for that covered play area that Lynn was talking about, and you'll see that further along with the deck. And then your play fields are out on this side here. Going into December, the roof changes a little bit. It's a lot. At this point, it's hard to see what's going on inside, but I assure you there's a lot going on the exterior. Exterior paints going on. This up here is what we call a lightweight concrete insulation system for the roof system. Basically what that is it's a styrofoam board with some lightweight concrete. Styrofoam board goes on like Lynn helped me out earlier, it's like a poke cake. This lightweight concrete goes into that on that board, creates one solid system for your insulation on your roof system before the roofing membrane goes on. So that all is going on in December. The exterior, we're pretty much at this point dried in. Your building envelope's tight, getting ready for windows and whatnot. And in January, site work still continuing. You can see the neighboring middle school. Here's that shared bus loop we were talking about, which will start being developed here real soon. It comes out. You can kind of see the formation of it going in as it comes here. And this is the road. That's Silver Grove Road. So we're kind of turned around from before, but just up close and personal, kind of see what these guys are doing every day out here. Here's the MEP rough-in, mechanical, electrical, plumbing rough-in we were talking about. Your electrical rooms are kind of the brains of these buildings, so it's really important to get a good jump start on those. You see all the conduit, that's for all your electrical panels in these rooms to power everything within the building. Here's your concrete slab, your floor. This is prior to pouring, getting all prepped, your rebar in, reinforcement, getting ready for the concrete pours. Here's these panels we talked about earlier on the casting beds. These are your wall panels. Right here, you can kind of see a window opening, as you will. And there's plenty of those on this building. So we've got to get those right and make sure they're in the right place when we go to set these things up right. Those are poured, then they're sat still for X amount of days to cure before these things are lifted and then put into place. As you can see, these guys are doing right here. They're braced up until all the structural steel and the components are put in place to get this fully locked in before those are removed. And then you can see the structural steel here, your steel joist. This is your multi-purpose room. This is the largest area in here, so you can see the significant size of these beams as they're going in there as well. Here's the roof deck prior to that lightweight system we were talking about. Here's interior stairwells. These are very wide corridors for the kids. There will be a safety rail in the middle, so you'll have traffic flow on both sides there for you. As well as here's a gentleman working with the electrical rough ends, as we talked about early on too. Here's that lightweight system we were talking about. The installations going right here. They're pouring pouring the lightweight concrete. It fills in these little holes and creates that full package there. This is your second floor. As you can see outside of the windows here, it is fairly dark. A lot of these concrete pours, due to the sizing of these guys would come out here early in the morning, make these pours, and make sure that everything's put to place and keep us on that schedule there. So they've been working really hard from the day one coming out here. Fireproofing of the columns. This is a sprayed applied fireproof. It's on all the steel members in the building. Really neat system. Not a pretty clean one by any means, but that's very important to get your ratings throughout the building. Make sure that we're safe if anything in the event does happen. Exterior painting going on out here. Here's the blue that Lynn was referring to earlier. This kind of blends in with the middle school as well. They both share those same components of the color. So all in all, it looks like a large campus out here for both of these, and both turning out really, really pretty. And then here's your grease traps. These are part of your kitchen system here. These are out back. They're large structures, very deep, very important to keep the kitchen guys up and running. Here's a couple more panels stood up here. You can see a lot of the site work ongoing, pipe work, and then this is that interior framing that we were talking about earlier, all metal stud framing and drywall. Plenty of rough ends going on as well, and we're just about past this stage and getting a little further on, and looking forward to the finish line here. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Lauren, and get to questions and answers.
Terrific, thank you. And Dr. Knight, the middle school principal, was just hopping on when we were talking before. So Dr. Knight, did you just want to say hello?
Absolutely, thank you. Something happened with my laptop, so it took me a process to get in. So I am Dr. Suzanne Knight, the very proud principal that will be next door to the elementary school, and I'm excited. I'm not sure what was shared about the school and the school naming. I don't know if you did any of that, but I really am excited. Ms. Osborne has been a wealth of information having done this before, so I'm excited. So thank you.
Lauren, you're still muted.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you very much, Dr. Knight. We did talk about school naming and shared a link in the chat, especially for anyone who logged on a little bit later. There's a link in the chat to vote on the top 3 school names for the elementary school, and there's actually a link within that survey to the same survey for the middle school name. So that was a question we got, and it looks like the first question we have is for you, Dr. Murphy Osborne. There's a question: do you know yet when you'll be at Whispering Oak for kindergarten registration?
I don't, but I should know. Hopefully I'll know by tomorrow, and Mr. Montgomery will put it on their social media site. I tried to find that out today before the meeting, but we weren't able to narrow down a time yet. So I also want to say, I know there's a question on here about after school programs, and yes, we will have champions for our after school program. And if it stays the same as it is at Independence, they will be open until 6 o'clock each evening to answer that question. And I encourage, and we try to take all students that we can. This past couple years, we had open enrollment at Independence, and we tried not to cut it off. However, it's based on first come, first serve, and the max enrollment that we have right now is 150 because of staffing. But I've talked to champions. The gentleman's name that's over it is Joe, and he is actively recruiting. So I try to take every student I can in the after school program. So we're hoping to take all the students. That's my goal, to take all the students in champions that we can take. So we'll open up enrollment for champions as soon as I sign the contract. I just spoke to him 2 days ago. I'll sign the contract. He's actively, like I said, trying to hire, And then we'll open up open enrollment. I believe he told me that he's hoping to open that up on April the 1st or April the 30th. I know that's a big span, but as soon as he sends it, we'll put it on our social media site. As soon as our school's named, we'll open up our Facebook page and all that'll be displayed there. And always feel free to email me any questions, 7525@ocps.net. And I try to reach back out to you within a few hours.
Okay, so that's 7525@ocps.net. Is that right? Because I'm going to drop it in the chat.
Correct. They can always use my name, but it's so long because it's hyphenated that the seven, I'm an old timer. I've been around a long time, so I only have 4 numbers, 7525. So always feel free to reach out and I always will email you back.
Great. And Jeff, can you move the slide ahead to the next slide so that for folks who weren't on at the very beginning, they can see how to ask questions?
Yeah. The first slide?
No, the last slide.
Oh, sorry, I forgot we.
Move ahead to the last slide. One more. There we go.
Yeah.
So we do have some questions in the chat. And Dr. Osborne, one of the ones you had, I couldn't see. So if you see any more come in, let me know. There's a question about entering the school beside the car line and walking and biking. So I know Jay had an answer for that. Jay, can you tell the whole group what the options are?
Yeah, sure. So basically, there's a new boulevard that's going to be, that is under construction currently by the developer coming off of Avalon Road. And on the school side, for both the middle and the elementary, there is no, it's a curb and gutter, so there's not going to be a place to be able to pull off. We do have right turn lanes for both the entrances coming in for the cars that are going to be coming into the campus. But there's not a pull-off location. And if I understood the question, they were wondering if there was like a satellite place that they could pull off and let the kids either walk in or ride their bikes in. There is no satellite planned, as far as a place for them to park. But there are
Could you
pedestrians.
advance to the site plan? Might be easier for Jay to explain if we had the visual. Thank you.
Yeah.
There are pedestrian sidewalks along the boulevard, though, and the road on the west side as well. So there's certainly the ability for pedestrians or bikers to get to the school. For the elementary school in particular, so if you look down in the lower left corner, you'll see crosswalks across the boulevard there. These are all this is part of the internal road network, not out at Avalon Road, because I know there was a question about Avalon Road as well. But we do have a sidewalk that's coming up alongside the entrance, and we also have one over on the west-hand side that are the pedestrian accesses into the elementary school campus.
Thanks, Jay. And kind of leading into those next 2 questions, I think we've pointed out on here the crosswalks, and there's a traffic signal. Jeff, can you point out where the traffic signal is? Okay. And that's, is that on the new road? That doesn't, that's not Avalon Road, right? That's the new
correct.
road?
This is Silver Grove, correct?
So there's a signal on Silver Grove. Lauren Torres from the county, I know is on the line. Lauren, do you mind unmuting yourself and addressing if there are any traffic lights going in across Avalon?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a traffic light planned for that intersection at Avalon, which thank you for pointing it right there. So there is a signal plan at that location, yes.
Great. And there's a question.
So, Lord, sorry, Lord. Will that be in prior to the school year? What's the timing on that? And how will the county and the sheriff's office help to kind of manage traffic coming off that road?
Right. So the timing of the signal, I'm not 100% sure about that. I'll have to follow up with Diana, our Public Works Deputy Director, to be sure as far as timing is concerned. But usually at a signalized intersection, we would work with the sheriff's office to try to get a crossing guard there. I say try because we have been having the sheriff's office has been having some issues with all the new schools going up, actually getting a crossing guard there. So, but I don't want to speak for the sheriff's office, but I know in the past when they have the ability to, they will have a sheriff's deputy come in if there's some issues and we can't get a crossing guard there day one. So that's usually how it works.
And will all the sidewalks be complete leading up to that new Silver Grove Boulevard off of 545 from the developments in the area?
That should be already done as part of the developer is responsible to put all those sidewalks in, so that should be taken care of. If, as we get closer, if there are any, issues, we'll work with the developer to try to speed that up.
Okay.
Lauren, how
Right.
about the crosswalks at the intersection of Avalon and Silver? Is there gonna be any crosswalks going from the west side to the east side?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a signalized intersection, so we'll build it to be ADA compliant, so.
Right, because there's a comment also from a different individual saying that, they'd really love to be able to continue walking or biking to school like they do right now at Whispering Oak. So, definitely that infrastructure will be coming in. So,
So once we get that answer on the timing of the light, Lauren, will you put that on my page, and then Kelly can also push it out through Facebook?
yeah, absolutely. And depending on how long Lauren needs to get that information, if it's before I send out the link to the video, I can even drop it right in the email that everyone on this call will get. Would
Right.
not be a problem.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Lauren, one of the other questions we've been getting, and I appreciate you answered about the light at Grove Boulevard and Avalon, but I know this is indirectly, but it really does direct my kids, because these are all my kids, that the parents have been concerned and voicing to me that they're concerned about Avalon and Independence, that big intersection. Will there be a light put there?
That I'm not, oh, yeah, you can hear me, right? Yeah. Yeah, that I'm not sure about, but I can follow up about that one too. Avalon and Independence, I can find out about that as
Yes,
well.
and that is, I drove it. I've been driving the zone area, and I do understand their concern about, that is it's concerning at Avalon and Independence.
And I know they're close, so that's always a challenge with the county, but how we solved that at Windermere was to just synchronize the lights so that it made that pedestrian traffic much better in two locations. So if we could look at something like that, that would be
I'm
great.
still on here. Nicole Wilson, thank you for Lauren, Orange County Lauren, and OCPS.
Welcome, Commissioner.
Hello, I am following this up with also a pipe into Ms. Almodovar to make sure that we've gotten all the questions in, and we'll get back as soon as we hear anything as far as timing.
Thank
Great.
you very much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that support.
We have a question that I just want to move up because I think it might need a little research. And we do have student enrollment and construction planning on. There's a question of what the expected enrollment trend for this school is going to be over the next, 5-6 years. So if either student enrollment or construction planning could see if you could find it, just give me a shout if you're able to find that number.
Lauren, this is Jessma. I have for which school, 89 or Whispering Oak?
89.
Yes. So it looks like the school is going to be opening a little bit over 600 students, but it's trending upwards. But there's a future relief that is going to open up in 2024 that's going to affect it. So it's starting out in low 600s and it's trending upwards into the 800s in 2024.
And then it'll be relieved again.
Yes.
Okay. So many new schools out here. It's just amazing. Dr. Murphy Osborne, there was, if you could repeat the kindergarten registration that you do have a date and a time for, if you don't mind.
Sure. I'll be at I'll be at Water Springs, tomorrow between 3 and 5 o'clock for kindergarten registration. And it's a meet and greet, and we'll have information there. If they have a child that goes to, I think it'd just be fine. If you have a child that goes to Whispering Oaks and you want to come to Water Springs tomorrow between 3 and 5, we'll be there. So we'll, of course, not turn anybody away. And we'd love to meet everybody, but we'll have several kindergarten registrations. This is just the first of many, so no need to panic. We'll be setting up as soon as my registrar gets in place also in an office. We're housed right now at Esteem Academy, but we'll have several kindergarten registrations. So it will be the first of many. And like I said, they can also email me, and I will email them back the information also, how they go step by step to register online.
Great, thank you. Jessima, can you describe where that relief school is? I wasn't sure if it was the one that's down in the Water Spring area, the 2024 opening.
Yes, it's site 47, which is in the, I don't have a map up in front of me. Let me get a map, but the main relief will be for Water Spring and the school, site 89. So it's in the area, but I'll need to get some research to get the exact location. Pam, do you know where 47 is in conjunction to this school?
South.
South? Okay.
I think it's south, but you know, I wouldn't want to pin a definite answer on that.
It's
You're
I think
correct.
now-
It's definitely south.
It's
Yeah.
south. It definitely is south. It's more south, west. So, but it's south.
Okay, so Lauren, what I would suggest is also putting up the map of that area that identifies all the future relief sites and note that 47 is in the queue.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, Jeff, if you don't mind stopping sharing, I'll bring up trying to figure out which would be the best one. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pop that up.
Okay, thank
And
you.
the next question is for Angie, so let me give you that while I work on this. The question is, are you going to have a meet the teacher or any particular time to tour the school? Oh, let me take part of that. We do have
Before you continue, I'll send you the map. Let me look for it. I'll send it to you so you can concentrate on answering the question.
Great, thank you, Jessima. So we automatically have sneak peek events. Usually within the 2 weeks before the school opens. That is something I'll arrange with Dr. Osborne. And ideally it'll be with Meet the Teacher, but that's not always possible. Dr. Osborne, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, everything will be on the direction of the school board, of course, depending on the times that we'll be in at that point. But of course, we want to give the parents and the community a time to come out and tour the school and meet the staff. And like I said, at the direction of the school board, we will have meet and greets, and we're just excited. So it'll be great. Everyone will have a chance to, have personalized attention.
Great, thank you. And there's a question that I think is for Stacy Neal from Student Enrollment. Can you explain if this site is going to be rezoned again?
Are you referencing 89?
Yes. Is
Yes.
89 going
So
to be rezoned again?
89 will probably be touched, like Jesma stated, to go to 47.
Oh, I think the question is more along it's about Marsh Road. Is there going to be another zoning process for Site 89 other than the one that was completed leading up to this?
I have not been given any direction or am aware of anything for anything above 89.
Okay, so yeah, this site went through the entire zoning process where there are, public meetings and input, and the board looks at different maps. So this did go through that. Okay. Here's a question. Okay, what innovative and collaborative educational programs are planned for the new school? Ooh. Angie, do you want to take that, or would you prefer that Wendy take that?
Sure. I'll take it, no problem. Well, as any new school, we don't open up all the time with new programs when we first open up. So, but we will continue to offer the gifted programs, and we will continue to challenge our students. Educationally, we will offer after school programs. Not quite sure which ones those will be yet. But I'm in the process of looking into the after school programs like we have at my old school that we had, looking at what programs Water Springs offers and Whispering Oaks, and trying to mirror some of those programs. I don't know if they mean, are we looking to go into the innovative area as far as, we'll continue to be next year in the West Learning community is the community that we'll be in, but we will continue to look at the programs that are at the current two schools and try to mirror those programs and offer challenging programs as we get into the school year.
So I think there's sometimes a misconception that the programs that are offered at the current elementary schools are special to that school. And there's a lot of things, whether you're talking STEM-based programs, music, the arts, that are in every single one of our schools, even a new school when we open. So if you want to clarify, besides reading, writing, and arithmetic, there are other things that happen in every single school. And then sometimes they get a little bit more specialized depending on the direction that the community wants to go. So, and they may take a green view with their science. It just evolves. But there's a core piece of that. So if you want to explain what really transfers over, I think that would help so that they're clear that they don't really lose programming.
No, we'll continue to have the same programs as Water Springs and Whispering Oaks. We'll continue to have a gifted program. We'll continue to have challenging, high achieving reading programs, math programs. We will also offer, more than likely, like dramatic arts after school. We'll offer soccer programs after school. We pretty much mirror exactly what our counterparts have. So, we'll offer the same instruction, same reading program, same math program. And so there should be no gap in any child's learning as far as coming to a new school.
Okay, and along the lines of what you're talking about, a question is, will there be a gifted and talented class? And I don't know if that means like a pullout or a cluster, but can you address like how gifted services would be provided?
Yes, there will be a cluster group on each grade level. That's how we'll end up doing. I know every school, now that is a little bit different at different schools. But we'll have a cluster program, and most of the schools in our area do cluster programs. So that's the program that we'll have there, a cluster program, a cluster teacher or teachers on each grade level.
Okay, Stacy, I think this next one's probably for you. Do students who are already enrolled at Whispering Oak automatically get enrolled in the new school?
Yes, they are actually geocoded into the new school, so they will roll over. There's no need to register your student into the new 89.
Okay, great. There's a question about whether there's a relief school on Marsh Road. I don't believe there is. Jessma, is there something I'm not knowing about?
No.
Okay, thank you. And Dr. Osborne, I think this builds on what you were already talking about. Any ideas on a PBIS or SEL forward program such as a house system? It says super early, I know.
Could you say that one more time? Would you repeat that?
Sure. Any ideas on a PBIS or SEL forward program such as a house system?
I'm not sure. Really, the house system is going to depend on who the guidance counselor is that is hired for the new site. I'm not opposed. I'd love to get the house system started. We definitely will have the cell in place. That's one thing that will absolutely carry over to the new school. Whether we do it on a house system, I don't know yet. It's going to depend on, like I said, the guidance counselor that is housed, and that will be one of the questions, the interview questions for the new person, if that's something the community wants. But absolutely, we could get that up and running, and maybe we could get some community support and some volunteers to help with that also.
Awesome. All right. Now I should be able to get this map up, so just give me a moment. Let me see if there's another. Oh, okay. This is interesting. You can answer this while I'm working on it. What is the #1 reason I should send my child to this school? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay. Dr. Osborne, you think you could take that one?
Before Dr. Osborne starts.
Oh, you want to go for it, Pam?
I want to tee it up for her. I've known Dr. Osborne almost 23 years. She was a key principal when I was running the school nurse program for Health Central and a partner there. She's opened multiple schools. She's been principal of the year. And if you look at the record of academics and the kind of programming that she brings to a school, that's great. I'll let her take it from there so she doesn't have to brag on herself, and can talk about the kind of team that she'll pull together.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Gould. Well, my heart is with children, first of all. All these kids become my kids, and they're my kids lifelong. They're lifelong kids of mine. So I can go back to my experience, my first principal experience at Spring Lake Elementary. I am still very involved with the students that are now young adults at Spring Lake. Sometimes they'll invite me to their baby showers, their weddings. They're my kids for life. So I think that this school will be an amazing school, like my last schools, because my heart is in it. I pull together a team that has their heart in it. It's not about me, it's about us as a group. So I don't use I use we. I think you'll find that I am a hands-on person. I never ask anybody to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. And so my kids see that when I'm in the cafeteria cleaning tables, or they're asking, can I get up? Can I help sweep? Academically, I feel like my team and myself, I feel academically I'm one of the best. I don't mean to brag on myself, but it's just true. I'm in classrooms daily. I pull together with teachers. Teachers and I have a very good, and staff, we have a great relationship. I would walk in front of a car for my staff. I love my staff dearly, and I always feel like they love me, and I love my kids dearly. And so I think anyone who comes to 89W will find that we'll be a great community school. My last school was a great community school. I love them. I'll miss them forever. Independence, if you look at their data, we were number one in the district for several years. So I think that's why we're going to be the best, and that's why you'd want to come to our school.
Lauren, if I can just chime in there on behalf of the West Learning community, everything that Dr. Osborne said is true. She is one of our stellar principals. We have all stellar principals, but she does go the extra mile, and we are blessed to have her as a part of the school. And you are in great hands when you send your child there. She truly does have a heart for kids and is a phenomenal principal.
Awesome. That was a really great
Thank you.
question. Are you guys able to see the long range plan slide?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible. Okay. So if you look down the list, the number 3, so you're gonna want to look at the bottom left. Number 3 is site 89. So that's the school that's opening in August. And then number 9 is 47, which will open in 2024. So you can see it would pull, from site 89, and it'll also pull from Water Spring. So hopefully that answers that question. I am going to see if I can stop sharing that so that I can.
The next question was how the PTA can get formed at a new school and what the process is for that.
Thank you, Pam. Dr. Osborne, can you talk about starting the PTA and what people can do if they're interested?
Yes, in fact, that was one of my to-do lists today. I had started reaching out to one of the other new principals of one of the new schools to see, and the other principals. If they are interested, I would love for them to send me an email so I could meet with them and talk to them. And we would love to get our PTA or PTO, whichever, up and running. I'd like to get a parent volunteer to kind of spearhead that with me. So I would love that. So if they could once again reach out to me by email, and then I can send them my telephone number, how to contact me, where I'm at, because I'm sorry, I can't remember my extension at the new location. I've only been there a few days. But that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful, wonderful. 7525@ocps.net.
Awesome.
And I know you said you were going to put that in the chat, Lauren, 7525@ocps.net.
I did, but I'll drop it in again, in case,
Okay.
people scrolled past it. But before I do that, Adam Zubritsky, can you please explain, what will determine who gets busing to the school and, how that 2-mile zone works, please?
Okay, does everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. And just real quick, 2-mile eligibility is based on walking distance, which may be different from driving distance. It's based on walking distance from the point where the student lives, the residential point, where public property meets a right-of-way, to the nearest door of a school using walking paths. That's determined, it's a little early yet because we still don't have a lot of walking paths that are installed for these 2 campuses. So it's a little early to determine anything right now, but it would be before the end of the summer when we set up bus routes and have them approved.
Okay, thank you. And I don't know if Dr. Murphy Osborne wants to take this or Wendy Ivory, but there's a question about how teachers will be hired and how it works with the feeders. It says, will most be from Water Springs and Whispering Oak? Like, how does that work?
I'll take that if that's okay, Miss Ivory. I will be following the timeline by OCPS. They sent the timeline out and we will be setting up interviews. And I've been getting several resumes, and so I've been putting them, because we're able to only interview right now PSC and CC contract teachers. That's teachers with, that have several years of experience. Annual contract teachers will be able to be interviewed starting Friday and offered positions, and then probationary teachers, that's teachers that are their first year, or temporary teachers that started after, I believe it's January the 2nd, will not be able to be interviewed until, I believe that date was March 22nd, but don't hold me to that exact date. At that point, we will be interviewing, following those timelines and interviewing for the best candidates and filling the positions with the best candidates. I can say as far as Water Springs, although that we're taking several students from their school, I guess they're being replenished because I don't think they're having a big cut, because I have not gotten a lot of, I think I've only gotten 1 resume from Water Springs, but that's how it will go.
Jeff, if you could bring the presentation up again and put it on the site plan slide. There's a question that came across that I think Lauren Torres would probably be the best to answer. I think you already spoke to some of this, but I know people kind of come on and off these meetings. So the question was whether there's a confirmed traffic light and an arrangement of officers. I'm assuming that means for the crossing guards. I know, and I also wanted to mention that we do, since this is an OCPS school, it will have an assigned SRO, school resource officer. I don't know if that was intended to be part of the question, but this school will have that. Actually, you know what? This is the perfect slide for this. So, Lauren, do you mind going over again, like where there are going to be traffic lights, and then we can bring up the site plan and show the crosswalks?
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as Avalon and Silver Grove, I'm going to follow up to find out what the timing is. There is a signal plan for there, but I don't know the timing yet. So I'll be following up and providing you the information to share with everyone. As far as crossing guards are concerned, all the traffic engineering can do for the county is recommend locations. Obviously, the entrance to the school and signalized locations. It will be up to the sheriff's office when and how they post those locations. So but we work really well with the sheriff's office. It's usually not a problem. We work with them, all year long. So if we place one or one needs to be relocated, we can work with them. Again, I just want to mention that there is a shortage of crossing guards. So that's one of the things that sometimes is tough for the sheriff's office to post someone there. But I believe if it is a post that has been decided that this is a post for a crossing guard, when there is availability, the sheriff's office does provide some background help by a sheriff's officer. But again, I don't want to speak for the sheriff's office. I just know that's what has happened in the past. I hope that answers
Anyone
the
is
question.
interested in a part-time job
Yes.
or a full-time job, we have some job openings at OCPS. But if you're interested in a part-time job and would like to see the kids every day, that is a great way to do it.
And is that on the, Lauren, is that the Orange County Sheriff's Office website that people can go to apply for those jobs?
Yes, it is. And I believe there's also a specific site, Lauren, which I can reach out to the sheriff's office and get you the link so you can share it with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I can drop that in the follow-up video also. So to my panelists, it is possible for members of the community to have sent you direct questions. It's under my Q&A. So if you could all just kind of take a look at your Q&A individually and let me know if there are any questions I have not read that you have. So I have reached the end of the questions I can see.
Lauren, can I go back to the question about the question about the crossing guards? I tell you at Independence, she is correct that we had some issues in the beginning with getting crossing guards, and what we did is we encouraged some of our families, grandparents actually, that wanted to be the crossing guards, and so we've had a lot of luck with relatives or grandparents wanting to be the crossing guards. And so if you're on here, I want to encourage you to reach out to the community about crossing guards, and our students pamper them and we love them, and we'll do the same at 89. So please, start posting that we need crossing guards now so that maybe we can get those filled quickly, because there's a lot of people in the community that they'll do it just for the love of the kids. So I'm hoping that'll be the same thing at 89.
And actually, if I could really quickly also just update from the side of the county budget, there was an approved budget amendment for the position of SRO at this site. So I know that that is already lined up and in place. And I have to give a shout out to Captain Ela, who has been very responsive if there's ever a concern in safety, and has always managed to activate the sheriff's department in whatever way they can if there's something that comes up.
Terrific.
I just posted the job site in the chat, and also they're paying $15.53 an hour. So.
Oh, yep, I see it there. And I put Board Member Gould's email address in the chat as well as mine. So if you have any further contacts, you'd like to make, Board Member Gould's address is up there, mine's up there, and Principal Osborne's email is up there. So Pam, I'm not seeing anything else. Did you want to say anything before we close?
Thank you everyone for coming. Please encourage your neighbors and your fellow school families to go to the recording when this is available so that they are in the know about this site. And if they have any questions, they should contact me and Lauren, and certainly the county on the road issues. Commissioner Wilson is on the program tonight, and I appreciate her coming and taking part in this. It's a lot to open up new communities. There's still a lot of development, and it does get better as neighborhoods close out and roads settle in. But traffic and new neighbors are going to continue to be part of our life for the next 10 years. So it's just something that we have to continue to work through, and your feedback and kind of eyes on the ground, boots on the ground perspective helps us to know where the pinch points are and what we need to focus on. So thank you everybody for attending.
All right, thank you everyone, and definitely watch your email this summer for information on the sneak peek. There will be a postcard coming from OCPS to any of the neighbors who got mailers for this meeting. And if you're on this meeting, we now have your email address and we can let you know as well. All right, thank you everyone.